Okay,
Awesome.
go ahead.
Yay. Well, we have a nice crowd on and hopefully we'll get some more hop on. But for those, I don't know if we have any new reps on, but we added, yay, welcome, Nicole. Awesome. Thank you for being on. Yes, we had a great month as far as adding reps to this team. We added 77 new reps in September. So that is awesome, you guys. As you saw or felt, we went back down again. We had a great August, and September was a little bit lower than what we were hoping for. But I think that's just the season we're in right now, you guys. The world is just crazy and nobody really knows what's happening. And so we have to just go with it and not get too stressed out about it when we have these months. Katie and I, we took a walk together today and we were talking about it. And you just have to have that mindset that it's okay if it does this. And there's nothing that we can do to control it. It is what it is. So just try to keep your mindset positive and stay consistent. Keep doing, your daily activities that will grow your business. So just control what you can control. That's all that we can do at this time. So we had 24 people hit the Magic 123 promo. So that is awesome. The 1 by 1,000. Congrats to you, ladies. And then we had 13 that hit the 3 by 2,500. And that is an incredible job, you guys. We are so proud of you guys. This is the last month for that promo. So if you've hit it twice, then you definitely have to work really hard to hit it that third time to earn the $1,000 for the 1 by 1,000 and then the $5,000 for the 3 by 25. So that is super exciting. Remember, you have 10 days. The first 10 days, they're doing the promo with the flannel, which Noelle, we were just talking about it before everybody hopped on. She was at Summit and I don't remember which promo you or how you ended up winning this shopping experience. You had to hold your rank or do something. Yeah. Anyway, she got to go on this shopping experience at Summit, which was super fun. I hope they continue to do that. But she got the flannel, and we saw Brenda wearing the flannel when we took our warehouse tours and such, and it is just adorable. So that is up for grabs. And then the relaxation bra, I can't remember the color. It's like a burnt orange or red or whatever, crimson color. I have it in the black and absolutely love it. It is so, so comfortable. So just like I see a couple of you guys in the hoodies tonight, the bra is just as awesome. All of you guys are in the green too. The ones that are wearing it are all in the green. Anyway, so the bra is just as awesome. And then the Zaya shaker cup. So all of those are up for grabs. Let's see if there's anything else that I wanted to say. I think that is all for announcements. So tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Summit. We have a couple guest speakers that are going to talk about their takeaways. And then we're going to talk a little bit about parties at the end. So Katie, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, awesome. So let's start with some quick Summit recap. And for those of you that weren't there, I don't want you to feel left out when I say that this was my favorite Summit ever. Because truly, we want everyone there, and hopefully you were able to watch the replay if you weren't there in person. But I guess I want to try to explain why I think this was my favorite Summit we've ever had. And I think it has to do with the community, just all of us together, feeling the emotions together, experiencing it together. I think in a way, being on a bit of a low in Zaya, meaning sales are not as high as they've been, I think that sort of brought everybody together in a different way. It was just really special. So we had a couple girls reach out to us and talk about their experiences and just how much they enjoyed it. And so we asked if they would be able to share a bit about that on the call. So Megan Spears, you're first in my view. Are you able to unmute?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, Megan, will you just tell us a little bit about Summit, how many times you've been before, and what you took away from this summit?
Awesome. Well, I was actually my first time going to Summit. So the first year I joined, I've been with Zaya for 2 years. The first year was virtual. And so I was able to do a virtual summit. And then last year, my son was picked up on USA Baseball. So I had to go watch him play. So this was my first year. I was super excited, but I was very hesitant. So I was so nervous about traveling by myself. I've never traveled by myself without any kids or husband. So that experience alone was daunting. But I knew once I arrived that all of my Zaya sisters were going to be there. And so that's what got me through. But I have to say, the journey to get there, I crossed so many paths of amazing women. I actually met a rep on the airplane in Norfolk. Yes, that's how you say it, Norfolk. A lot of people were like, where do you fly out of? So I met her in the airport. She just moved here to Virginia from California and knew nobody. And so we were able to travel together through all of it. And then, of course, Gina was on my flight. But really big thing that took away, I thought I was going to be, of course, enjoying time with all my Zaya sisters, but I really thought I was going to be sitting in a training and just kind of like learning about Zaya and like how I can make my business better. And guys, it had nothing to do with that. It was beyond amazing, motivational. The community, you just felt the love and how genuine Zaya women, especially the Zaya on Fire team, Team Illuminate, like people are genuine. One thing that stuck out to me, and I like think about it and I just tear up, is Casey. She is on, I believe she's under Bethany. I'm not sure who, but she was on the bus from the airport to our hotel. And she knew nobody. She was her first time meeting everybody. And she was like, people told me I'm going to be catfished. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have no idea how amazing these women are and what you're about to enter, because I know that feeling coming from Virginia Beach where there's nobody out here. And just everybody just surrounded her and she was just so happy. And we caught back up on Sunday in the airport and she was like, wow. And it was just, my heart was so happy that she like found this community. But also the hike, our 4-hour, 5-mile hike was amazing, just to talk to women just about life. We just talked about life. Nobody was asking what your rank is. Nobody's what's your sales at. None of that applied. Everybody was on the same page. We all were there because we wanted to just be around each other and we all have that same vibe. And just hearing some women that had never hiked before, they were able to hike to the top of this waterfall and just see like amazingness around us. It was amazing. And then the summit, just being around everybody in general. I know I cried multiple times just listening to like Damon West talk. If you haven't checked him out yet, please do so because he is beyond motivational. But just being around everybody and everybody's hugging each other and giving each other high fives and hugs for all the achievements they have. But I think just this community is something so special that if you haven't seen that yet, to dive into it, because it is just beyond a community. I can't even explain. I've met some of my best friends here, some people who I call when I'm having bad days, nothing to do with Zaya, and I just can't explain to anybody. So if you didn't attend, it's fine. I hope that you can attend next year because I just want you to enjoy the community that we have here. But 2 takeaways that have really stuck with me, and I've tried to implement them ever since I've gotten back, is Damon West talked about the windshield being bigger than the I can't even speak, the rear view mirror. And that really hit me because this journey in 2 years has been a lot of ups, but a lot of downs. And I need to just keep looking forward and know that the view is so much bigger in the front. And that has definitely motivated me to get back in there, especially with my team. So if I met you or gave you a hug or gave you a high five or just smiled or anything, just know that that really stuck with me. And I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thank you, Megan. I oh, what was I gonna say? I was just gonna say, if you weren't at Summit, and I know the next one's not for a year, right? But you want to be part of the community and you don't feel like you are yet, this is where you have to push in a little bit. Send a couple messages. People are very receptive to letting you in, so to speak. But you might have to push in a little bit. You might have to be brave, like Casey on the bus, and go somewhere by yourself a little bit. So if you don't feel connected, please, message someone, message me or Monica, and let us get you in the loop. If you're on this call, hopefully you already feel like you're part of this, but if not, let us help you. Megan, thank you. It was so great to spend the weekend with you. It was just really special. You did a great job of summarizing why it was so special. Okay, Anne Meek. Anne, you have been before, so tell me, sorry, Megan, I thought you had been the year before, but Anne, I know you have, so tell us a little bit about that and maybe summarize your experience.
Sure. Yeah. So my first summit was the year that I joined, so 2019, and then 2020, I believe, was virtual. And then 21, my husband got COVID like 3 days before I was supposed to leave. So then I couldn't go. I cried. I was so sad just because I knew how powerful and fun it was. And then, so this was technically my second like in-person full summit. It's going to start sounding redundant a little bit, I think, because my biggest takeaway, as it usually always is with SIA, is the community. Being around, going to Summit this year and like just being around so many like-minded, empowering, strong women. It's just, I think because of the pandemic, I think that's even more important now, and like needing that community of women. And like other people have said, like, if you haven't been at this community, it's hard to understand it, but it's amazing. I mean, like I see some of these women only once a year, some of them now once every 2 years, and it's like when we get together, it's like we've talked every weekend and we spend all this time together, but it's because we have so many common interests in just like our spirit. And I think that that's what brings everyone together so much. And even when I'm having hard times through my Zaya business or just in life, and maybe I'm not, putting into it what I want to get out of it, I always just stay because I know that the relationships that I've built are like, I mean, they would still be there, but like, I want to continue to give myself the gift of this community. And I could truly feel that once again in Utah. And that energy that like at Summit is just so strong. And I was very aware and present to feel that because ironically, like a month ago, I'd gone to Costa Rica on a wellness retreat. And we focus so much on like the power of your mind and the power of your thoughts and the energy that's around you and the negative energy that's around you. So I've been really thinking about that a lot lately. And so it was interesting to be there, and like I felt like aligned again in my purpose, just because it felt like, you're on that path of your spiritual journey. It feels right, like it's being incorporated now into Zaya. And that alignment, it just reminded me, Katie, of that first summit. Quick story. So I joined in March, and then Summit in 2019 would have been in September or something. And I had some like tragedies happen just like the month prior, and I was kind of a hot mess. But during Summit, there was a speaker talking about telling your story and, just how important it is to share who you are and to be yourself and put yourself out there. So many people have things to relate to you. And I'm texting Katie and I'm like, I feel like I'm the only person in the room. And as I'm like hitting send, a message comes through from Katie and says, she's talking to you. Like, I don't know, something about Summit is just, it feels that energy and those relationships are just so powerful. And it felt the same way again, where it's just like, you are exactly where you need to be. And I just think that that's an incredible way to feel. And I haven't felt that in a while. It just was lovely. But then just taking those thoughts, and like, I have the Post-its on my mirror, and they haven't happened yet, but they've been there for a while, but I am doing it. And just putting that more into my Zaya business instead of just my day-to-day personal life, bringing it into just how I talk to myself about my business and growing that community and things around that. You know, I always feel like lighter and brighter after Summit. Like, I just feel like it's easier to give love for some reason. You know, like there was a girl on Facebook that I don't really know that well. She's like another company rep for somebody, and she was kind of like having a hard time. And I just messaged her and I was just like, give yourself grace, like talk to yourself like you would your best friend. Like, we're always so hard on ourselves, but we're so loving to others. And that's how I feel when I leave Summit after, like, you know, like Erin talking about bunnies, like, I mean, come on, like bunnies, you know, but I can relate to that story. It's all about that, what you surround yourself with. And I think when you find that family and that connection, like, it's just so powerful. And for anybody who's like afraid to go, you can find that, but I agree, you have to push in a little bit. I mean, I forced Katie to sit on the plane with me on the way to Summit. Literally, like tapped the person next to her and said, hi, can I have the seat? Thank you. Just like kicked him out. So yeah, you do have to push sometimes. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, and like when Damon West was talking, I mean, I love being inspired by people that have had hard times, and just like the energy that he was bringing. Like, it's an incredible feeling to be just listening to someone tell a story and you're like on the edge of your seat. Like, I didn't take one note from his story because I was like, what's going to happen next? You know, and I think that that's an amazing experience to have. Not everyone gets to go to conferences and things like that. And you want to share that with other people. Like, I always feel like it's so much easier to recruit because I'm doing it almost unintentionally, just because I'm like, you have got to come do this. This is so amazing. It's so vibrant. And when you leave Summit, you feel like anything's possible. And like, we should always all feel that way. So yeah. That's my.
Thank you, Anne. I'm so glad you made yourself sit by me on the plane. You pushed in. She's joking. I, of course, wanted to sit with her, but she wasn't really sitting by me, so she did have to reorganize. But lighter and brighter, like, that's just so key. I felt that too, and I think everybody that was there agreed. You just leave and you feel better about yourself. You feel better about what you're doing. You feel more capable and more equipped to handle the adversity that's going to come your way. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I came back and I just was like, I don't really care if anybody thinks what I'm doing is crazy. I could give a rat's, you know, like, I don't care because I know how good it is. And I bet if you were there, you felt that way too.
Can I add one more thing? Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't get to my last note. So
oh, yes.
I just, as for new people coming in, and it's always a great reminder for me too, like, you do get psyched up after Summit, right? Like, so I'm like posting more and I've just got that energy. And one of the speakers, I can't remember exactly how she quoted it and I can't find my notebook, so this is going from my brain, but where it's basically like, what you're doing now, when you think of consistency, what you're doing now consistently for 6 months, like, you really don't see the results of that until like at like another 6 months later. And so like, when I think about consistency, I'm like, what, I'm doing it, you know, like, I'm not getting anything back, but like, it's not about being in the woods. It's like taking a step back and like seeing the forest, you know, I mean, like, just keep working at it and it grows. And I think it's easy to feel like you're stuck when you're not really.
Yeah.
That's all.
So good. It was just really special, and we absolutely love being around you guys, and you're what makes this so amazing. And so getting together with you in person is just a reminder to keep going even when it gets hard. Like, that is just so unimportant, because this is what really matters, you know. Okay. All right, that's great. Let's talk about parties. Monica's going to share, you know, like she said, we were walking today, and we talk every day, and we're always strategizing and thinking about what's best for business, for you guys, for the team. And you know, we really kind of believe that parties are changing, and that one way that they might change is to go back to being home based, you know, in some areas. And so that doesn't mean you have to cancel all of your online parties and book a bunch of home parties, but it does mean that if you haven't tried hosting a home party, it might be something to try. And Monica is really, really good at these. So she's going to chat with you guys about some tips for how to have a great home party.
Awesome. Well, yes, all the feels. Thank you, Megan and Anne, for sharing. It just, yeah, just brings back all that energy that felt so good while we were there, and so good. So yes, parties. I love in-home parties. Like, I would do them once a week if I could, or if I had, you know, the people that wanted to do them. And obviously with COVID, we were at a lull for that, you know, couple years, but now we're hoping to start to do them again. Like she said, we were talking about just hosting one at our house. Like, if you don't have a hostess, or you haven't reached out to anybody to try to host, just having one at your house might be a great way to start those conversations. If you invite 10 women over, hopefully you can get one of those women that wants to do the same thing. Why do I love them? Because they are really easy, they are really quick, and you make really good sales in a short amount of time. The last in-home party that I did was, I was there a couple hours, and it was over a $2,000 party. So it's just, when the clothes are there and they can touch them and feel them, especially people that have never tried Zaya, they just go crazy. Like, it's just they start feeling them, they see other people trying them on. And again, you don't need to have a lot of inventory to have an in-home party. When I first started with Zaya, I had just my starter kit, and maybe another pair of leggings or two, but the people that came over were trying on my clothes that were like 2 sizes too small. And just so they could see the fit and the feel, and just having a really good time. So don't stress like, oh my gosh, I don't have any inventory, I don't have all the leggings and all the sizes. You don't need to have that. You just have to have just a few items that they can touch and feel and see. And hopefully there's somebody there in your size that can try them on. And if there's nobody there in your size, somebody that's 2 sizes bigger can try them on too. So super easy in that regard. Just have a laptop. So if somebody's like, oh, I love that boyfriend sweater that you're wearing, be like, oh, it also comes in black or navy, and you can get on your computer and you can show them right there on the computer. So you don't need to have every new piece of clothing there. You just need to have a laptop or something, a phone. When I've done it before, I've had an iPad, and I've had my phone, and I've had my laptop. So just something where people can browse. Obviously, people have their cell phones all the time now, so they can just get on there and look themselves. What else? Snacks and drinks. A little bit of wine goes a long way. The more wine you can get in them, the more they seem to want to buy. But actually, the $2,000 party that I went to, it was a Sunday afternoon, and I don't think anybody was really drinking. So, but it was just the right group of ladies just having a great time on a Sunday afternoon. Like we say about this community, it's a great way to just get women together. They have fun. They support each other as they're trying on clothes. It's like, oh my gosh, you look awesome in those leggings, I think you should get them. That is a huge selling point. I mean, people will listen to their friends and end up buying the leggings because enough people told them they looked good in the leggings. So let's see what else. Maybe offer, I like to, when I do the in-home parties, I like to offer either no tax or free shipping, something like that, just to give them a little incentive while they're there. Katie and I talked about doing a sip and shop. This month, we'll just do like maybe a Thursday evening or something like that, and just invite our friends and just say, come over for a drink and some appetizers, and we'll show you the latest Zaya or whatever. So it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just, you don't need to have a charcuterie board that fills up your counter. You just, some cheese and crackers and a bottle of wine, or, if you're doing it on a Sunday afternoon, some cookies and lemonade or coffee or whatever you want to do. Just, something for them to snack on, but you don't need to go through a lot of trouble. So let's see. So yeah, just really easy. So that's, we're hoping that maybe when we do this big party, hopefully it's a big party, we're both going to invite our people to one of our houses, and then we'll do it. And then hopefully we can get a lady or two to agree to host one of their own. So just keep that in mind. It's a great option. Like I said, they usually go really, really well in a short amount of time. So, all right. And then I have another guest that I want to share. Mallory, she's in our push group, and I did the push group last week. And so I was, we were giving away like little rewards at the end of the week, and Mallory won. And so I said, oh, send me your link and I will put the gift card in your back office. Well, she sent me her link, and I like go in there, and it's, how it gives you the option of parties. And I was like, whoa, this girl, her whole screen was just filled with parties. And I was like, whoa, what is she doing? There was 10 parties, actually 11. I think one of them might've been her own, but she had 10 parties there, you guys. So I knew we were going to be talking about parties tonight. So I messaged her and said, hey, would you just hop on and share a little bit about your success or how you've had success with booking these parties? So Mallory agreed to hop on and chat with you guys. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mallory.
Thank you. Yes, some of those links in my back office are my own. And then I do have some set up for customers. Some who have had links with me for a little while, who I'm trying to convert to reps because they have a big party just chilling in my back office, and I'm trying to get them. But I just actually recently posted, I saw a really good graphic of, I can't even remember what it was called, like not the buying club, but whatever, where they spend X amount of dollars, October, November, December, to basically get themselves to the $200 rewards. So for their own shopping link, and then they can cash in on those. So I have a couple of those sitting there too, which is awesome. And I have also found bringing that up to people to open their own shopping link, they're more enticed to buy because they're buying to benefit themselves. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? But yes, Moonshot. Yes, thanks, Charmaine. But a lot of what I wrote down to talk about tonight really quick is kind of a refreshed mindset that I have, kind of like a lot of other people have mentioned coming out of Summit, because I had a really great August and September. Like many of us may not have been as good, but also for me, coming off of a really high was like a really low for me, not only like business wise, but just mentally. And I got in a really, like, excuse my language, but shitty mindset. And it, like, I just could not get out of it. And I keep blaming it on Mercury in retrograde, and thank God that's done. So we're just going to blame it on that. It is over and it's fresh in a new month. And after Summit, I just have like that really refreshed feeling too. And like a whole new attitude and mindset going forward. Cause like I said, that's in our rear view mirror. It's done. So what I wrote down here about reaching out for parties is the first thing before diving in is to get your mind right and to have that good mindset. And I actually wrote down on my whiteboard at home, in quotes, I can help, and I am a leader. And just having that mindset of the I can help attitude going into all the things and all the reach outs that you do really can make a difference. And another thing that we've talked about, I don't know if it's been mentioned in our bigger groups or just our smaller team with Bethany, but one thing we've talked about a lot is attaching your emotions to your actions and not the outcome. And I think that's something that's really important that I've also clung to as well, because we're so focused on sometimes, sending the messages, reaching out, and then waiting for that reply, and then getting pissed when somebody says no. And that really, really drags you down. And it's really hard not to sit there and watch and wait and, hope for that yes and get bummed about the no. But it's really important to try to, like I said, attach that emotion to your action and be proud that you even did the reach out in the first place, and just try not to look. Even if try not to look if they're responding. It was really, really hard, but it's really helpful to just like be proud of yourself for doing those reach outs, because they're hard and awkward sometimes. But having that right mindset before you dive in is really important, because I believe it was Rachel who talked about this kind of wheel that your thoughts create your feelings, which your feelings drive your actions, and your actions create results. And so having that positive mindset of I can help and I am, helping and benefiting somebody is going to give me the feeling of success, have that positive feeling, the I can help attitude. And that's going to push me to do more reach outs, thinking that I can help and that I can do it. And, I don't care what the outcome is. I'm just proud of myself for doing it. So that's really kind of what I've been diving into at the beginning of this month here, is getting my mind right. As far as my actual reach outs, I wouldn't say I'm like a party booking expert by any means, but I've also taken on the keep it more short and sweet. I think we're all guilty, maybe not, but I know I've been really guilty of getting those run-on messages of like just saying too much. And it's like, you don't want to overwhelm the person you're talking to in this big, huge message. Keep it short and sweet. And so what I've been saying basically to people is when I reach out, and when I do my reach outs too, I'm not just cold messaging people. These are people from my VIP who have bought from me before, from past parties, people who I have reached out to before in the past. I'm reaching out again. Just because they said no once doesn't mean they're going to say no again. And so I've just been keeping it short and sweet. And what I've said is, hey, I have some openings this month. I'd love to host a pop-up for you and get you some free and half off Zaya. And then sometimes at the end, I'll add in there, let me know your thoughts. Some of the messages I've just literally left it at that. And then see if they respond. And then I don't remember who said this at Summit as well, but they had mentioned the most response they get is on that second follow-up. So a lot of times people will just ignore your first message, and that's fine. But go back, and I've gone back and gotten responses from quite a few people lately who have told me no in the past, saying, hey, just wanted to circle back. And the second message that I send, within a few days or a week or a couple weeks or, however long it's been, hey, just wanted to circle back. And that second message that I sent, I give a little bit more specifics. I have October 9th and October 23rd available. What do you think about me hosting a pop-up for you? Again, just wanted to circle back. And I like that, like circle back wording in there to kind of just, hey, like, hello again. I don't know. But yeah, those are the kind of things that I've been saying that I feel like I've been getting good responses to, and not making it too much for them to like commit to. And it's like, hey, and I've also started to use the word pop-up lately. We've been talking about that in our team too. Because it doesn't sound quite as like scary or, have that taboo of like an online party that some people might feel weird about. So I don't know if it's necessarily helping or how other people feel about it, but I like that term. So those are my few tips and tricks that I have that seem to have been working for me as of lately. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I do love that buying club. I think maybe even for Christmas, you can call it the Christmas club or something and give them their link, and maybe, have them start, if they want to start buying Christmas presents or use the rewards for Christmas presents. I think that's a good angle now that we're getting into that holiday season. So I love that idea. Well, thank you for doing that on such short notice. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, guys. Does anybody have any other questions or anything they want to add to any of the stuff, the parties or summit, or anything that you wanted to say? Katie, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm just excited for this month. I don't know how sales are going to be. I don't know if people are going to be more in the mood to shop or not, but it's a fresh slate and that feels good. And I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. Are you ready?
Yes. Get our minds in the right place.
Yeah. I feel good.
So important. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you again for hopping on with us. We love seeing your faces, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Night.